Hi, Taylor T. Carlson, and I'm back with another video for you. Arrow Video has done it again. They've quickly become one of my favorite niche boutique labels, releasing classic films, giving the treatment they deserve. And not too long ago, they jumped into the 4K game, and one of my favorite movies that they released in previous years was Cinema Paradiso, a great Italian film from Italian director Giuseppe Tornatore, originally released in 1988. This movie was originally released in the United States in a 2-hour theatrical cut, although many years later, Tornatore released a 3-hour extended cut. I guess you could call it a director's cut also, but what cut of the movie is better is definitely going to be open to interpretation. We'll get into that later in this review, but I've got the new Arrow 4K release of the film, and we'll do a quick unboxing, and then I'll get to my thoughts on the film and this release. You got the young version of the main character on the cover. There's our spines. Back cover just goes over description of the movie as well as what bonus features are included. This has a reversible sleeve under the slipcover like a lot of Arrow releases. I reversed mine. This is what it looks like when it's reversed. Pretty much identical to their cover for their previous Blu-ray release. There's the spine on there, and again, pretty much a retread on the back cover there. Inside, there's an ad for some of their other releases. There's an ad here for an Alec Guinness, Jack Hawkins movie called The Prisoner. Admittedly, not familiar with that one, but I might have to look it up. There's a nice booklet included here. And I'm going to show off a few pages in here. There's some nice photographs and behind-the-scenes info and essays in here. Then here's the last page with the restoration, production credits, special thanks, and so forth. Cinema Paradiso is the story of Salvatore, who is a famous film director living in Rome. He gets a phone call that someone named Alfredo has passed away, and the majority of the movie is spent in flashback, going back to when he was a little boy going by the nickname Toto, who absolutely adored going to the cinema and harassing and bothering Alfredo, the projectionist at the theater, idolizing him and wanting his job. And of course, these trips to the cinema and the mischief he causes are much to the dismay of his mother and the local clergy, with the church largely having a lot of power in the town, including cutting sexual and kissing scenes out of movies. In later years, when Alfredo is unable to contribute to the projection of films, an older Salvatore ends up taking over the role, becoming the town projectionist well into his teen years. At this point, he meets a woman that he absolutely falls for, and he finds his values and where he's going in life completely thrown astray. Should he chase the woman of his dreams, or should he listen to Alfredo's advice, go to Rome and pursue other dreams and become a success story that he truly has the potential to? Cinema Paradiso is an absolutely great film. I love movies that are about the movies, and I think this is one of the best examples of that. Cinematography here is absolutely beautiful. Plus, you have a score that was done by Ennio Morricone, probably best known for being the guy that scored all those old Sergio Leone spaghetti westerns from the 60s starring Clint Eastwood. He also scored, more recently, the Quentin Tarantino western, The Hateful Eight. Sadly, we just lost him earlier this year, but phenomenal film score composer, and this is some of his best work. The movie's very well cast, including the 3 actors who play Salvatore over the course of his life. When he's at his youngest, he's his most adorable and appealing, and that's definitely my favorite section of the film, although his teen years are definitely interesting to explore as well. In many ways, the movie mimics a lot of the films that it references and shows, and it's interesting to see how society changes over the 40 or so years that this movie takes place. It starts out in the mid to late 40s as World War II is winding down. At this point, the church has supreme power and they can censor movies and pretty much bend the will of the town to whatever they like. By the time the theater reopens and Salvatore has become a teenager, the church has lost a lot of its power and movies reign supreme as a major form of influence and entertainment. But by the end of the movie, movies aren't what they used to be. The theaters in town sit abandoned and television has become the new source of power for the world. There's a lot of different interpretations and subplots and any number of things you could discuss when it comes to Cinema Paradiso. It's a beautiful, well-made film, and if you've never seen it, it's definitely worth exploring. I'm glad to see Arrow has certainly given the film its just dues. There was a previous Blu-ray release that only had the theatrical cut of the film with burned-in subtitles and no bonus features. Arrow eventually released a special edition Blu-ray that had the theatrical cut on one disc with bonus features and the extended cut on the other disc. I'm not going to get into the difference between the two cuts here, although I will say that I do prefer the theatrical cut of the movie. It's more concise, and honestly, the extended cut drags on longer than it needs to, and a lot of the changes and addition really work against the film, its characters, and its original message. Likewise, it's worth noting that only the theatrical cut is on a 4K disc. The extended cut is still relegated to a Blu-ray identical to the one that was released before. I'm proud to say that the 4K transfer on here does not disappoint. A beautifully shot film, and the 4K elements definitely work a lot of magic here for one of my personal favorite movies about the movies. Bonus features, again, are identical to the old release. There's nothing new here, but there's a commentary from the director. There's about an hour-long Giuseppe Tornatore documentary, including some of his own home movie footage. There's interviews with the actors that played Salvatore in the film over the course of his life. There's a montage of the film's famous kissing sequences, showing scenes that were cut out by the priest early in the film from movies shown in the town. And then, of course, there's a trailer for the film and the bonus disc, which has the extended cut of the film, has a trailer for the extended reissue of the film. Have you had a chance to see Cinema Paradiso? Is this one of your favorite films? Were you not a fan? How did you like this reissue if you picked it up? Comment down below and let me know what you think, because I'd love to hear your thoughts on this one. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so, because I'm always posting new videos, and give this video a like if you found it helpful. I'm Taylor T. Carlson. See you next time.